Welcome everyone. I'm going to show you how to make a data store in Roblox using a cache increase system. So if you're interested in knowing how to do this, stick around because I'm going to show you. Alright, so let's get into this. So, step 1. Insert a script into server script service. Okay, so any script inside of server script service will run automatically, immediately, like right when the game starts. So what we're going to do now to start the data store, we're gonna make a couple variables. Local data store equals game get service data store service. And now that's just a service. Now we're gonna use that to make a data store. And then I'm gonna use cache, but you can use anything you want. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So I'm gonna say my data store. Just make sure everything's like this. Yeah, I would make sure everything you're typing is exactly like this, just so you don't mess anything up. You can say data store colon get data store, which is a built-in function. Then inside of these parentheses, you can do two quotation marks, and now we can do. Now you can. This is where you make the name of your data store, so it can be anything. I'm gonna do cache, so I'm gonna do cache save. It can be anything you want. It doesn't have to be that. It's completely random. You can put anything you want. Just you can't change it after you name it because it will erase your data, which nobody wants. So once you have it there and once you leave it there, don't erase it. Don't keep changing it because it's gonna mess up everything. So think of a name and put it in there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do? We're gonna make game.players.player added connect function, and we're gonna put a player parameter inside. Alright, so we're just running this event, and it fires to a function every time the player joins the game, and we want to and this is where we're gonna add their leader stats, and make sure you have this player parameter inside of these two parentheses, and with the end right here. Okay, so now we're going to do local folder equals instance.new folder. Alright, we're going to folder.name equals leaderstats. Alright, so make sure you name it the folder leaderstats, lowercase l, or else it will not work. It can't be a capital L or it will not work. Just put lowercase l and it'll be leaderstats. And then you created a leader stat. And I'm going to create one more line here. I'm going to parent this folder into the player. Parent equals player. Okay, so it's good. So now we're going to make the cache local, or you can do anything you want. You can be coins, tokens, whatever you can think of, whatever you can come up with, to be honest. I'm going to do cache. So cache equals instance.new. I'm going to do int value. And int value is integer value. It holds numbers. And that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna say cache.parent equals folder. So we're just gonna parent it into the leader stats folder. Cache.name equals cache. And this is where if you want to change the name of it, it can be tokens. It can be I don't know, whatever you want it to be, coins, whatever. Just that's where you would change it. I'm gonna have cache. Cache dot. All right, so. Actually, that will set us our leaderboard up. So that's the leaderboard right there. Alright, we don't want to set the value of it yet because we're going to do that later. Now we're going to actually get the player ID. ID equals quotation marks, player underscore player dot user ID, and make sure everything is spelled exactly like this because in programming in general, it's case sensitive. Like you have to make sure it's an uppercase, lowercase there. Like it's a capital U. Make sure it's a capital U. Make sure this is a capital I, and a lowercase d. Very important. But yeah, I'm sure you guys got this. So now what we're gonna do? Local data equals my data store colon get async. We're gonna put in the player ID. All right, so get async will it's just gonna find their ID, their player key, and every player has a unique key in Roblox. If you go to their profile, you'll see in the URL you'll see their like numbers, and that's their key. So we can actually print their key if you want to see it. I'll just play the game real quick, and I'll show you. Let me open up my output. If you're interested, I'll show you. And right here, you can see in my output it says player, and that's my key. So what we're gonna do? You don't need this line. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to the if statement, if data. So if their data exists, then we're going to, if cache dot value equals data. Alright, so if their ID is like, if their data exists, like if their ID, then we're going to set their value to their data, which is basically what they're going to have after they play the game and they get some cash. Else, cache.value, so cache.value equals 0. Oh yeah, so this line, I forgot. This line is for starters, like for new players. If they don't have data, oh yeah, then they're going to get set to 0 because they don't have any yet. But if they do have data and they're joining the game, like they're a player that's already played before, they're gonna get the save. Their data will load. That's gonna load their data in. All right, so we're done with that. We need to make a player removed function here. Make sure you have it just like that, player, and yeah, just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna do local success, comma, I'll just do ERR, it's short for error, but then we can do pcall function, and a pcall is very simple to understand. It should be anyway. So anything that goes inside a pcall function, if there's an error, it will not crash the script. It will continue on with the code. It will not stop the script from running. So that's why pcalls are very useful. So now we are going to we're going to scroll up. I'm going to copy these two lines right here. Actually, no, just yeah, this line, the player ID. I'm gonna paste it, and I'm gonna type in my data store set async. And now we're gonna set it with player user ID, comma, player dot leaderstats dot cache dot value. All right. Alright, now, I believe that should work. So, before we test if it saves, we actually need to let's actually make the rise system so it rises, which will take like a minute. But before we do that, I just want to make sure that you guys hit the like and all that stuff if everything is doing good so far. So let's make that real quick. I'm just going to call this cache save, and I'm going to make a new script in server script service. I'm going to type a few lines. It's really nothing. I'm going to say while wait one do for I player in pairs game.players get players do. So this is just a while loop. Will run infinitely every second, and a for loop that will loop through all the players in the game, and we want to increase their stats every time. So cache.value plus equals 1. So before that's it for the script. It's just a few lines. So that will increase their cache 1 every time, or whatever currency you're using. So, before we do this, I should have mentioned this in the beginning. All these scripts are not. I mean, your cache save is not going to work unless you turn on API services. So, go to Game Settings under the Home tab. Click on that, and go to Security, and make sure Enable Studio Access to API services is selected. Make sure it's green. It accesses to game services such as data stores. That's very important. Make sure it's on. All right, so I'm gonna test it. Let's try it. I'm gonna try it. I believe this should work. Yeah. And yes, and you see I have 550 cash. That's only because I've actually written this script before, and I've given myself that amount, so that's why it's saved. So it does prove that it does work, but I can give myself another amount. Let's see if I go to cash, and I give myself, let's say, 800 or 700, whatever. All right, and I'll leave. I'll come back. Let's see if it actually saves to prove it to you again. No, it did not. But I think it will. Hold on. It does work, but if it works for you, let me know, because it might just be because I'm in studio. That might be why. Sometimes if you try, yeah, I think that's why. Guys, because I actually tried this in Roblox, not studio. Like, you have to go into your game and alright guys, as you can see, I am in an actual server in Roblox. This is my game, and I left studio so it will work in an actual game server. So, as you see, my cash is increasing up on the screen right here, and once I leave, like I'm about to do now, it should work. So, I'm gonna leave and rejoin, and I'm gonna tell you if it works. So, give me 1 second. And as you can see, my cache has saved from when the last time I left the game. So there you go, guys. That's how you make cache save in Roblox and how to increase it. So thanks for watching, guys. And hit the like if it helped. Comment if you have any problems. Comment the code so I can take a look at it and help you. And thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.